What's up, everybody? Coverkillernation here. Before I start today's album review, I have to hand out a pair of apologies. Firstly, I want to apologize to you guys, Nation. I want to apologize that I did not have an album review up yesterday. The one that should have been up yesterday is the one I'm about to do right now. However, work has gotten to be it's work. I'll address exactly what went down this week within a blog TV that'll be sometime later on in the week. But for now, just know that I've been logging a lot of hours, so I was very tired last evening. The second apology that I'm going to hand out is to Metal for Nations, and it's because of the video not being posted yesterday, because him and I had both agreed that we were going to post a review for Destruction's new album, which is entitled Day of Reckoning, on the same day, and unfortunately I was not able to honor that due to work and everything like that. So for that, my friend, you're a relatively new subscriber. I hope this doesn't shy you away. I am sorry, but here it is. Destruction's Day of Reckoning, which is their new album, which was just released a couple of weeks ago via Nuclear Blast Records. It's something where here in America we're probably going to be getting it a little bit later because Destruction is, of course, not from America. In fact, Destruction is one of these bands that the only albums of theirs that we have gotten in the store have been recent reissues, and most of them have been from albums from the 2000s. We may have gotten one from the 1990s, but at that particular time the band was self-releasing many of their records, which is quite unfortunate because these guys are seen to be one of the founders of a metal scene known as the Teutonic Thrash metal scene, which was in a scene that was begun overseas in the 1980s, which incorporated elements of death metal with thrash and that you would hear today. There was a lot of incorporation of what you would hear today in death metal, only done with kind of a more thrashy influence. And it makes perfect sense considering it's kind of an East meets West philosophy. In the West, of course, here in America, thrash was king. Bands such as Metallica, Megadeth, Overkill, the like, Slayer is another good example, obviously. Meaning over there in Europe, where they wanted to take it kind of a little bit further, and if you listen to the early Sodom, the early Kreator, and the early Destruction albums, you can kind of see where the framework comes from. And they're still all three kicking today. Now, with Day of Reckoning, Destruction is taking its breed of thrashy death metal, or thrash death, or Teutonic Thrash, whatever you want to call it. Hey, you can classify this one yourself. And they have extended it now to a 12-track affair running at roughly 50 minutes long. It is full of 11 original tracks and one cover. That cover being the song Stand Up and Shout. You should probably know who this is a cover of. You should put your answer in the comment box. If you're wrong, I'll be very, very disappointed in you. But yes, once again, this is one of those bands where there's not too much to say, considering they have become such a mainstay in the particular genre for such a long time. However, a couple things that need to be addressed will be addressed throughout this album review, because I'm going to try to make it as quick as possible. This is a very solid album. This is another one of those albums that maybe may require a little bit more along the lines of multiple listens in order for you to really acquire a profound respect for it. However, the one thing that you're going to notice is that if you're really, really into banging your head hard and really just enjoying the thrash, this is definitely an album for you. It's definitely a bloodbath of thrash, which is a good thing. The one thing that really does kind of turn me off, some songs seem to be a little bit more discordant, maybe a little bit disorganized, and that's something that can kind of turn you off a little bit. The first track kind of strikes me as that. There's a couple of others as I move along, but then whenever you get to songs such as Sorcerer of Black Magic, you really start to understand what the core is for this particular group. They're able to put together fantastic song structures where they do everything at the right and proper place, and that's the one thing that you really want on a record of this particular magnitude, especially whenever you're a band that had to kind of self-release for a long period of time and are really starting to get back out there. They've been on Nuclear Blast now since the year 2000, so it's been about 10 years since they've gotten back with a deal, and they've released a couple of really good albums such as Inventor of Evil and Devolution ever since then. But it's still something where I'm not seeing this stuff appear all that often in the store, so there's something going on there. I'm not sure what it is. But they're able to piece together very, very good songs with great structure, not to mention they're able to employ something that I like. And there are some times in thrash songs where you really just want to have a moment where they repeat a certain riff, a really powerful riff, and it gives you that opportunity to really thrash out, to really bang your head, to throw up your horns and really enjoy the experience. It's something that would be sentimental and very good during a live show. And there are a couple songs that definitely employ that very well. The drums, the bass, the production is all very well akin. It fits together very nicely. Like I said, on a couple of tracks, it seems like either they were trying to do a little bit too much, or they were experimenting with something that was maybe a little bit more disorganized than maybe it would seem. It would seem like a couple songs were really akin to go some other place, or really didn't go very far at all. And I think that this is something that kind of hurts the band a little bit. Another thing that really hurts this band, and it hurts a couple of other bands as well, is that there's so much respect that is paid to a certain genre, or a certain wave of thrash metal, where there's a lot of bands that are either kind of left in the dust, or you kind of hail them from afar. And especially here in America, it becomes very difficult to hail them in a constant, considering it's very difficult to find their material. Bands such as Heathen would be another one that really comes to mind, and Onslaught from the UK. Of course, I reviewed the new Onslaught album roughly about a month and a half ago, and I am still yet to see it in my store. And it's something that I can't even special order for myself. I'm going to have to just go the non-store route, which I try not to do, considering I am employed at a music store. However, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do for fucking heavy metal. But yes, Destruction's Day of Reckoning, as a 12-track, 50-minute long affair, it's not something that overbears you as a listener. It's something that is kind of a quick little stay. 50 minutes is definitely a very good pace for this particular album, considering it's over and done with, and it's such a period of time that it's still going to leave a nice lasting legacy on you. Not to mention, it is going to take you on a thrill ride throughout. The Stand Up and Shout cover is absolutely fantastic, something that I definitely find to be a very fitting tribute. And it's something where this album just kind of hits at the right particular time. Destruction's another one of these classic thrash bands that are really coming back and amping it up since thrash is making a comeback. It's almost like whenever they were recording this particular album, they took a listen to what Onslaught was doing in the studio and, well, thought to themselves, well, damn, this is what we're going to have to try to top. I don't think they quite did that. I think that this is going to be a solid 7.5 out of 10 effort. But I gotta say, if you're a fan of thrash metal, once again, this is another one of those albums where you can just put in, or however you can listen to it. This is something where they streamed live before the CD was released, so you may have a challenge to find this. However you can, just listen to it, sit back, enjoy the days of thrash, bang your head until it fucking falls off, and let the bodies hit the fucking floor. Okay, that was a terrible reference. Once again, apologies to Metal for Nations and you guys for being a day late with this. However, Destruction, Day of Reckoning, check it out.